Devin Griffith from Griffith Family Farm, and he's going to talk to us about pastured poultry. Welcome, Devin.
All right, so good morning, everyone. I will say pastured poultry will learn more about why I started with that and how we got to where we're at. I think this first picture is really awesome. This was last year. You can see all the good stuff that they're doing back there, dropping manure and doing some tramples, similar to what cows and sheep do, just on a much smaller scale. So a little bit about us. This is me and my wife. We met when we were 15 years old. I actually come from a farming background, but I'm one generation removed. My grandpa passed away in 2012, 2011. My dad was in the military, so he was in the Army from 1998 all the way till 2018, 2019 when he retired. He retired in Hawaii, which is where I met my wife. She is Hawaiian and Filipino. So try convincing her to leave an island of paradise to come to Kansas and be a ranch wife. Okay, that's almost impossible, but I was able to do it. Okay, we raise chicken, beef, and pork. We currently have 3 store locations. We attend 4 farmers markets, and we do farm tours on our place. We are on small 40 acres, and the crucial part to all this is that my parents were one of our biggest help. So when we moved to Kansas, after my dad retired, they wanted to come back home. And so we were actually living in a 2-bedroom apartment. We had our 1 daughter at the time. And I said, Dad, I'm working 2 jobs. Raquel's working 2 jobs. We're trying to make, save up enough money. We really want to do this farming thing. I stay up all night trying to pencil it out. And Dad was like, well, I also want to get out of town. I want to have my own gun range, and I want to ride dirt bikes and do stuff. So Dad went ahead and got a loan on 40 acres. They currently live in that house, and we live in a single wide right next to them. And we run all the daily operations. So it's similar to animals, right? My dad is, what's a good word for it? He is happy being able to do the recreational activities like hunting, and then I'm also happy raising my kids on a farm where they're learning awesome life lessons. Okay. So why chicken? I was broke. So the cheapest thing to get into is chicken, right? I can go buy a chicken for $2 at Tractor Supply or Atwoods versus having to go to the sale barn, and current prices now paying thousands of dollars for a bred heifer, right? And so cost was a big factor. I wanted to get back into farming, just like my grandpa did before everything got sold, but I knew I had to start small, had to start with something. So that's where we're at. So our very first batch of chickens, we overdid it, did the typical Joel Salatin thing where we built it way too heavy. I used 2x4s. I hurt myself a lot. Just kind of is what it is. We did 50 chickens, and we just did that 3 times that year. So we did 150 chickens in our first year. Most of those got sold to neighbors, people at work. Like I said, I'm still working full time. We did a little bit of Cornish Cross. We did Freedom Rangers. And ultimately, like everybody else, we stuck with Cornish Cross just because time, cost, and then flavor preference. The biggest thing, yes, people aren't as apt to eating grass-fed finished beef, grass-fed finished lamb, pasture-raised chickens of heritage breeds because the flavor is so different and distinct from what they're used to. It's hard to market it. Okay, so we had to meet in the middle, raise something healthy on non-GMO, no soy, no corn feed, but still give them a flavor profile that's not going to make them never buy from us again because it's too different. Right? So how we raise our chickens on pasture, there's our guard dog, Copper. He just roams around. I really don't know what he's guarding half the time. Sometimes it's my house from cars passing. Sometimes he's killing coyotes. Sometimes he's killing a hawk or a raccoon. So I don't know. He doesn't like anything except me and the kids. But he is friendly when people come by. He loves to be pet. We raise our chickens in a mobile coop on wheels. This is called a chickshaw. This is when we first started. We actually currently are downsizing our egg production to make more room for our meat birds. It's just starting to become more difficult to rotate them every day, every 3 days with the cows, along with moving all these chicken tractors that we're building. Okay, as you can see, the broilers, we now are up to 10 of these. So we do a little bit different. I do tell people, change how you're going to fit your environment, similar to the lambs. Okay, Joel Salatin, he put 75 in there. In Kansas, when it's 110 degrees. In Kansas, when it's 110 degrees in the middle of the summer, 75 is a little too much. Okay, so adjust to your environment. We raise them this way for the exact same reasons. Predators, most predators don't go to this electric net. And then we can control their manure. They can scratch up cow patties, control fly larvae, really disturb the soil, and drop their awesome chicken manure. Broilers, same thing. Predators don't get in here. Sometimes we do have a hawk or something that picks them off because they're sleeping up, not underneath where they're supposed to, but they decide to sleep over here by the chicken wire. And so a hawk eats them to death alive while they're just hanging out, right? It's just kind of, chickens are dumb, right? When they're being attacked, they decide not to run away. They're just like, okay, eat me. Like it's chickens I don't understand, but I love them to death. It's like coddling a baby. They don't know anything, so you just have to treat them like a brand newborn baby, even when they're 8 weeks old. We had 40 with 2 roosters. Justin Rhodes. Yep. So this picture was taken this year. The biggest thing is fertilization, aeration. Okay, so you can still see our chickens out there. This area right here was from our last batch of chickens in October. So similar to what a lot of people do, you're going to fertilize in the fall or spring, and then when you get some moisture of any kind, whether it be snow, rain, it's going to positively impact the pasture. All these dark green patches are where their feeders are, so it's more concentrated, but you still get all that all the way down the field. There's still green vegetation underneath all of this dry matter. It's just hidden because the cows aren't going through that area. Okay, so it's really beneficial. Everybody buys chicken manure. There's farmers now that are spreading on all their fields. It's great for your soil. So it's higher nitrogen. Obviously, everybody knows nitrogen helps with plant growth, leaf broadening the leaves, all that good stuff on your plants. Phosphorus and potassium. Everybody wants to get their hand on chicken manure. They will buy it from you. They will buy my bedding. Instead of composting it, there's people that run gardens or small market gardens or family gardens. They will be like, let me get all your wood chips from your brooders. I want to compost it. Put it in our gardens. Okay, so it is valuable, right? It's not only valuable for us, it's valuable for our cows, it's valuable for our pigs, and it's valuable for our neighbors that want to grow tomatoes and then trade me a bunch of vegetables for some eggs. So it works out great. So the other thing that's really awesome is the scratching and pecking is actually vital for it. When we first got to this farm, it was hayed for 70 years. And the old guy that lived there, he had a couple horses. Him and his sons, they just love riding dirt bikes. It was their recreational place. They hunted, did all those things. A couple neighbors were haying it, 2-3 times a year, rain permitting. So there was a lot of patches. This actually looks great compared to when we started. I could actually go out there and walk in between the grass. Okay, so chickens positively impacted us in that way. Okay, it started fertilizing the ground. We started getting disturbance. Water was infiltrating the ground again. It was awesome. So here's our cows. We do raise Longhorn Red Angus mix. Again, the reason I've got into Longhorns, I'm poor. Okay, so you can buy Longhorns. I bought 10 bred cows. They were actually had calves on them at the time, plus they were bred back, and the guy gave me the bull for $8,000. Okay, I was able to buy an entire herd dispersal from a guy of what was left for $8,000. There's people that will go buy 2 cows right now for that. Okay, so these cows, this area right here, and I wanted to put the date, and you'll see on another slide here, Anybody remember the drought of 2023? I mean, you could spit on the ground more than it was raining that year, right? And so it was absolutely horrible, okay? Chickens, cows, pigs, they are important to soil health, okay? Rotational grazing, all that stuff is super important. So I do tend to say here, the chickens are a good starting point. You definitely need the other animals to help incorporate that stuff, right? So down in this wooded area, I'm actually still working on it. I'm cutting trees all the time. At this point, I hate cutting trees. I wish I could just light it all on fire and then start over, okay? This area was nothing but mud. It's down by our pond. Couldn't get nothing to grow. Took the chickens down there, knocked down all the weeds, got their manure on the ground. Then I took the cows in that fall, unrolled a bale of hay, let everything absorb into the ground in 2022, and then took the pigs out there to disturb it all. Mix all that nitrogen in the ground, mix all that dry matter from the hay, all the pig manure, cow manure, everything got mixed into the soil, and this is what came back. Okay, I am not an agronomist by any means. I can tell you very few species of grass, but what I do know, the green stuff is good, okay? If you have a lot of weeds, like you can see in the back there, stuff's growing up, the real viney stuff, I know that stuff's bad, right? So I want the animals to take care of that. So anyways, like I said, in the middle of July, chickens are down there, they're eating insects. They actually controlled the weeds by knocking them over and then eating the seeds off of them, okay? Chickens are omnivores. They will eat seeds, they eat corn, they eat bugs, worms, fly larvae, all of it. So beneficial to our entire operation, right? So examples of chicken impact, I went ahead and just took this drought map because again, here in June, we run our chickens through here about twice a year. So this is closer to the house. This is the tree row that surrounds my house. And in 2023, obviously, we couldn't catch a break. Nobody could grow anything if you wanted to. Now, again, like I said, not saying chickens are the sole reason for the grass growth, but they promote it, right? If you are getting good things on the ground for the grass, if you do go out there and when we would take the cows' water trough and you dump 250 gallons of water on the ground because you're about to move them, okay, your grass is going to explode, absolutely explode. So all in all, chickens is a great starting point. I want to keep reiterating that. Get into chickens. The hardest part, and we were talking about it before this conference, is butchering the chickens. Okay, so we started in 2021 and, took first couple chickens, we're butchering everything ourselves. We actually started on an old oak tree by the shop. We have pictures that our daughter was 5 at the time. First time she's out of the city and we're killing chickens. I mean, she lost her mind. Dad, what are we doing? Okay. I don't like this. So we gradually grew. And now we're doing 1,000 chickens a month. Last year we were doing 500 chickens a month, broiler chickens. So we butchered all those. It was super time consuming. We couldn't keep up. Friday nights I'd get off work. So I get up, do chores in the morning, go to work for 9 to 10 hours a day. I guess it's kind of funny because I'm also an environmental health and safety manager at an aircraft company. I'm also our maintenance manager and then our A10 program manager. So I handle a lot of our A10 Warthog stuff. So I'm there a lot. They don't care at night when I'm at home. They call me. I routinely have to go fix stuff at 2 a.m. My wife, funny story, will yell at me. She's like, either answer the phone or turn it off because you need to go. You either need to go to work, just get out of the bed. I don't want you here right now. I'm tired. So routinely go to work, come home, move chickens, and it's just fun, right? And then Friday nights, we have to butcher for our farmers markets because we've gotten out of it's day-old fresh chicken because it became too much. We were butchering 200 chickens on a Friday night. So we'd get off work, do all the chores. It'd be 7 o'clock. I'd tell my wife, hey, kids are fed, put on a movie. We don't have cable. Again, poor, cutting cost. Put something on the iPad,
hook it up to the TV, let them watch it, and me and my wife would go outside and butcher chickens with my parents. And we would butcher chickens. One morning it got a little out of hand till 3 a.m. I went in, showered, cleaned up, took an hour nap, had to get up, prep for the market, left for the market, and I was at the market all day. Okay, chickens are labor intensive if you're direct marketing them and you're butchering them yourselves. Okay, this year we're not. We're going to raise about 10,000 chickens this year. I have decided we are not going to butcher them. We are going to use our butchering equipment and facility as collateral to upgrade the business, get trailers, crates, transportation crates, get everything taken to the USDA facility so that I can have more time to do things like this, teaching people how chickens can start your operation and grow it to where it is. Okay, those first 2 years, right? Those chicken tractors. If we could go back a little bit, yeah. So the first 2 years, right? We had one of these that I built for $300. Okay, you run all your chickens through it, saving up capital, saving up all that money, investing in your soil. Things are getting better. You can start bringing in the cows and the pigs, right? And so it's extremely important. It's beneficial for the entire ecosystem. I just love chickens, right? Who doesn't like eating chickens? That's kind of, again, another easy thing to market. Everybody eats chicken. Every culture eats chicken. Okay, not every culture eats beef. Not every culture eats lamb. Not every culture eats fish, but every single one of them will eat a chicken. Okay, you can get it out there. You can improve your land and improve your farm overall holistically. I know I went through the information kind of fast because I tried to not talk so much about myself. I tend to ramble about that quite a bit. So in the Q&A, we can go over some more of that stuff and kind of how we got started and how the family's positively impacted with my brothers coming back to the farm. They're working for me full-time, or not full-time. They also have full-time jobs, but they're running farmers markets and things like that. But our biggest focus is improving our soils so that we can farm longer and pass it on to the next generation and not give all of our money to the chem guys, right?
What are you using for chicken tractors now? Are you
Still using Joel Salatin. I just keep building one every time I need another one.
You haven't gone down a different path?
Not yet. Nope. I just keep taking my $400 and driving over to Lowe's in Derby and building another one. I think that is also another important part of my context is a lot of you are from this area. I am actually down in Sumner County, closer to Oklahoma. So again, context, and it's more row cropping down there. And so it's hard to find pasture ground. And when I go and try to buy property or lease it from somebody, you get outbid, and then that pasture gets tilled up, and then they start planting corn. Okay, so again, you don't need a lot of acreage. I'm on 40 acres, making a huge impact on the area. There's other people that are now, a couple neighbors that are like, oh, this is awesome. You were grazing 26 animal units in terms of beef. I had 26 animal units on 40 acres, and I grazed them year round. Okay, I bought 30 bales of hay from my neighbor, and that's what I fed my cows through the winter. Okay, so now it's making a positive impact on my community, where now everybody else is like, oh, I want my grass to grow. I want my drought year to not put me out of business. I want my family to be involved in all of this, right? And so it's super critical. I think everybody here is an advocate for that, and it's not just myself. And if you're here, you're trying to learn and become another advocate like us. So, McPherson. Yep. So we go to Crable's. Yep.
So you process in there, but then you're still selling direct to consumer at like farmers markets and your store.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Crable's just does the butchering for us. They give them all back. We do have a larger client who runs a restaurant and stuff like that. It will just go directly from Crable's to that person. So that is already having a relationship with them is super important. But majority of our birds right now, 80% of them come back to us. and we sell directly to consumers. We don't have an on-farm stand. The store locations we're in Belle Plaine, we're in a grocery store there. We're at Wichita Wagyu in Wichita. And then we have a small store in Harper where we sell out of as well. So looking to expand that, having a lot of avenues, and then it means less freezers in my house and more freezers at other places.
How many freezers do you have to have?
So in our house right now, we have 8. It's kind of funny, we got rid of our couch, kind of pushed it out of the way. The kids now sit on freezers. Like I said, we live in a single wide trailer with 3 kids and 1 on the way. So when you have that many freezers, we eat dinner on our freezers. We pull our dinner out of the freezer, and we enjoy every minute of it. Yeah, we know eventually, moving on in the future, we'll be able to have a bigger house, and my wife will not murder me. Hopefully by then. Okay. So if you don't see me at the next conference, I bought another freezer. All right. Thank you, everyone.